I am reading from John chapter 4, verses 51 through 53 in the commentary. And as he was going down, his servants met him and told him, saying, "Your son lives." The phrase, "and as he was going down," refers to the trip home, as is obvious. While the words "going down" have to do with altitude, they also have to do with spirituality. The way up is down. This man had come to Jesus, it seems, with a different thought of his own importance, but had left a different man. The phrase, "his servants met him," proclaims a beautiful story. No doubt the servants had sat by the boy's bedside for some days now, slowly watching him weaken until he was at the point of death. All of a sudden they saw a miraculous change. I wonder what their thoughts were. The fever instantly broke. It was totally gone, and with the boy made completely whole. One can well imagine the joy that must have filled that home, with several servants leaving immediately to go find their master in order to give him the good news. The phrase, "and told him, saying, your son lives," is charged with drama. Quite possibly he could see his servants coming to meet him even before they were in talking distance. What thoughts must have crossed his mind? However, when they got close enough that he could see their faces, he knew the news was good. Beautifully and strangely enough, the servants used the exact same words concerning the boy's healing that Jesus had used. "Your son lives." Never had a greater word fallen on this man's ear than the words of that moment. "Oh happy day, oh happy day." Verse 52. Then inquired he of them the hour when he began to amend, and they said unto him, "Yesterday at the 7th hour the fever left him." The phrase, "then inquired he of them the hour when he began to amend," portrays him putting the times together when Jesus had spoken the word and when the boy was healed. The phrase, "and they said unto him yesterday of the 7th hour the fever left him," probably refers to 7 p.m. the day before. There is some evidence that John, as well as government officials, as this man was, used the computation of the Romans in computing time, which is actually the same manner it is computed presently. Nevertheless, some believe he was using the Jewish reckoning, which would have made it 1 p.m. the day before. However, it seems to me that if it had been 1 p.m., the man would have instantly started for home because of certainly being anxious to see the results of Jesus' words. However, inasmuch as he spent the night either in Cana or somewhere along the road, it seems that the Roman accounting for time was used by John, which would have made it 7 p.m. the day before. So the father, verse 53. So the father knew that it was the same hour in which Jesus said unto him, "Your son lives," and he himself believed, and his whole house. The story of the cross is the story of the Bible, as the story of the Bible is the story of the cross. They are one and the same. To the degree that one misunderstands the cross, ignores the cross, or repudiates the cross, to that degree they will misunderstand the Word of God. In fact, an improper understanding of the cross is the major cause of all false doctrine. Defective faith. The phrase, "so the father knew that it was at the same hour in which Jesus said unto him, your son lives," points to two possibilities. The man was either not certain that it would be as Jesus said, and now was greatly encouraged over the verification, not only of the healing, but at the exact time it was carried out, or else he believed fully and was overjoyed to see his faith rewarded to this degree. I think one can say that every single believer in the world has effective faith, at least to some degree. However, as should be overly obvious, Jesus was ever seeking to increase faith in the hearts and lives of those with whom he dealt, and doing it in several different ways. The only ones in whom he found it no response of faith at all were the Pharisees and the religious leaders of Israel. Consequently, they received nothing from the Lord. However, to all others, irrespective as to whom they might have been, a certain degree of faith was present, which always increased because of contact with Jesus. Faith comes by hearing the word, and Jesus was and is the living word. John 1:7, Romans 10:17. Only believe. Only believe. The phrase, and himself believed, and his whole house, speaks of all becoming converts to Christ. So his son was not only healed and thereby spared from death, but as well the greater gift of salvation was given to all. What a blessed day this turned out to be, and all because of Jesus. One can well surmise that the news quickly spread to every relative and friend concerning the tremendous miracle of healing which had taken place. It is easy to understand that people flocked to the home of this nobleman to see the young man and hear the story as to exactly how Jesus healed him. I can see the father exclaiming to all who would listen, and all did, that he merely said, "Go your way, your son lives." He would then have told how he could hardly wait to get home and see and how the servants met him on the way, and they were shouting, no doubt, at the top of their lungs, "Your son lives!" And then I see the light as it literally shone on his face as he compared the time that the boy was healed and the time when Jesus had spoken the word with him, no doubt exclaiming, he was healed the moment he spoke the word. Hail, your once despised Jesus. Hail, your Galilean King. You did suffer. You did suffer to release us. You did free salvation bring. Hail, your agonizing Savior, bearer of our sin and shame. By your merits we find favor. Life is given through your name. Praise you, Lord. Praise you, Jesus.